The Glam Mothers is a new play at the Leonardo da Vinci Center. The ups and downs of life in a large Italian family. It's another local production that promises to draw big crowds to the East End Theatre. Joining me right now is Tony Calabretta, who wrote The Glam Mothers playwright. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
So it's always interesting. Obviously, this isn't your first play, but it's interesting to kind of find out what inspires these plays. A lot of it has to do with some interesting family stories and stuff. What's the inspiration behind this one?
Well, the inspiration for this one is some real-life events that I lived in the past couple of years. Although the story itself is fictitious, it is based on events that I witnessed, that I lived through, like I said, the last couple of years. And yes, all of my plays, all of my productions are all based on the strength of the family. You know, that's the bedrock for all of my plays. Yeah.
If you could go over this one, what's if you just briefly, for those out there interested, what's the plot?
The plot is there's these two women who are related through marriage, Glam Mothers, what we call Glam Mothers, very, very young and outgoing, energetic grandmothers. And they come together at a point in their lives, although they are each dealing with their own personal issues, serious issues at that. They both decide to come together for the benefit of the family. So it's that's pretty much in a nutshell what it is.
Yeah, kind of a nice story. We saw some of the video there. Obviously, a familiar face to a lot of people in Montreal. Right. One of your stars. Talk a bit about the cast in this one.
Yeah, the cast is amazing. I mean, we handpicked these people, and they're all like really. I couldn't envision anyone else doing those roles. Natasha Gargiulo making her theatrical debut. She's amazing in this, as is Claudia Ferry. Claudia is great in everything she does, and a good friend of mine from Toronto, Tony DeSantis, made the trip down the 401 to be in this. And our biggest discovery, the young Brittany Drisdell, who's doing an amazing job getting everyone's attention with the work she's doing on this. So,
yeah. You know, obviously, it's interesting to see for a lot of people. I grew up in St. Leonard. Right. It's interesting to see a lot of those kind of those cultural things that you experienced in your youth growing up reflected on the stage. But it's a message with a wider appeal, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a universal appeal. I mean, it deals with like issues that most families have, like whether it's Italian or otherwise. I mean, it's something that's it's a very universal theme that people could definitely relate to. Very relatable subject matter in terms of like what the two Glam Mothers are going through, one with illness, the other one being estranged from the family. And so, yeah, it's something that anyone who watches it can relate to, definitely.
You got this, it's interesting, you got this surrounding the Leonardo da Vinci Center, obviously incredible facilities there. Oh, yeah. You got this, it's this vibrant theater scene kind of growing surrounding this place in the East End, which makes for an interesting dynamic. Montreal, obviously there's a central theater scene as well. Right. There's the West Island one, you know. So you got this sort of vibrant East End scene developing. How is this scene fitting into the greater Montreal theater scene? You
know, we've been working at it since 2015. This is the third production we do there. When we were told that it was going to be difficult to bring live a professional English theater to the East End, we thought otherwise. And my partner and I, Antonio De Verdis, who's also directing the show, we just said, you know what, we're going to give it a shot, and it keeps getting better and better every production that we do. This one we are selling like crazy. People, we really hit a nerve. We struck a nerve with this one, and it's doing very, very well. And we're glad that it's, you know, making some noise for the theater as well, for the Da Vinci Center as well, because it's a gorgeous 526 seat theater, which is very underused.
Yeah. And it's great entertainment too, you know. And I think a lot of Montrealers, they think theater, they think it's kind of stuffy or something. Do Montrealers need to do more to support and value local theater in this?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I mean, it's it's an art that sadly is not as vibrant as it was, say, even 20, 25 years ago. There's just so many other distractions nowadays with your phone and iPads and whatnot, and you know, endless amount of streaming channels. But live theater is just something that like is an art form that, you know, should be supported and should you know, be exposed to younger generations, younger people. I really do believe that. Yeah.
It's interesting. There's like so much not live stuff these
Exactly.
days to ingest. This live experience is almost it's refreshing, you know. So when are the next shows? You had a string of shows coming up.
We have, well, like I said, right now we're looking at finishing up our run with this one this Sunday, and we plan on, you know, bringing it on the road. We're looking at other cities in Canada. And the feedback has been very, very positive with the people that we've spoken to that want to get involved with us, like our number one sponsor, Totem Acoustic. They're very much behind doing this, and so yeah, we're just gonna enjoy this ride, which is, like I said, it's amazing, very well received by everyone who sees it. And we just hope that we can, you know, do this longer run in other cities and stuff in the near future. So.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for taking the time tonight to talk to us about it.
Well,
Tony Calabretta, playwright. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.